webinar series on real world asset tokenization at Mabrook. The topic today is the real world asset tokenization in halal finance. We are going to discuss what does halal finance mean in real world assets. So we understand, if you see my screen and the numbers, today there are in reality 32 billion US dollars already tokenized on chain. That does not include a stable coin, meaning the private credit or any asset uh, we think should be tokenized. It's already tokenized. It's not like a pilot or something. It's like production grade ready. A lot of big players are there, including BlackRock and JP Morgan. Then we see a recap of what our market stand today. The Islamic finance market total assets, of course, which are off chain, is 6 trillion, and the projected next 2 to 3 years forecast is roughly 9.7 or 10 trillion. And then we see that the Deloitte projection last year for the real world asset tokenization only is 4 trillion. So you see the number is really massive. We are talking about only real estate. The forecast of Deloitte is 4 trillion. It does not include the private credit tokenization as we were talking about this topic last week. It does not include Sukuk. It does not include so many things, right? The other asset like gold, commodities. So there's a pretty much big room here to play with. We in specific to Islamic finance use case, Malaysia already rolled out this year 100 million ringgit or 25 million US dollar worth tokenized sukuk. They went ahead, they went aggressive, and they have launched sukuk, which is sovereign asset linked, right? Result yet to be out. It is very recent, but we already are seeing now there are use case example on the horizon. So again, like if somebody has to ask me that where Islamic finance fit, and when we started Mabrook 4 years back, Alhamdulillah, we saw a very good alignment of the blockchain and tokenization with what Islamic finance principles are. Okay. But remember, the Sharia foundation is everything. We cannot just say that, all right, one day, one fine day morning, I just got up and I have an idea and I say, you know what, let me tokenize this real estate and issue the token. No, the Sharia still is the foundation. The 6 trillion industry, which is already proven itself, alhamdulillah, those 6 trillions are structured product. They have a proper Sharia governance framework. Sharia has reviewed it, screened it, passed it. There's a continuous Sharia audit happening. So when we talk about the Islamic tokenization of platform like Mabrook or alike, the Sharia foundation is intact. It has to follow same thing. So the first step is what? Is the token's product structure. It is not the token. So if you would have to ask me that, Fahad, how this token is halal and what does Islamic tokenization mean, my response would be that it has to follow the IFE structure. It has to have a Sharia supervisory board review, fatwa issued, continuous audit. If I'm not able to answer this question, you don't need to go further than that. I don't have to talk to you about the blockchain or all about the technology itself, how beautiful the technology is. If the Sharia foundation is not there, thank you very much. So that is the idea, and that's what the awareness, me and Sheikh, we had this idea to basically promote, right? Especially the asset backing side of it. And we touched this backing versus Islamic finance question last week as well. So coming back to why Islamic finance fit, the first good example is that a lot of real estate and then those great high quality assets, they are there, but the liquidity is locked in them. Example, I'm a real estate developer. I have a big tower I'm maintaining. I sold that tower to some market. Now those users of the tower are having apartment or they have the title deed and whatever. But see, the investment I put it on the building, it is not rolling as fast as it could be. So when I start the building, it takes time. Then I sell the building, it takes time. So 3 to 4 year horizon or maybe sometime 10 years, my money is locked in the building. I cannot do it. However, the asset, the collateral is there. The first best use case of Islamic finance is that Can I bring that? Can I sell that pre-construction tokens to the community across the globe, get my liquidity out, do start the next project while I'm doing the first one. And the first one, of course, the investors are getting the returns they want. But as a developer, now I have ample liquidity to do something else. A good example we got in Canada also, there is one doctor. He's a dentist, mashallah, a Muslim dentist. He has got like 6 to 7 franchises in Ontario, Canada, and he has a land. And what he said that, you know what, can I not tokenize my clinic and liquidate whatever I'm earning monthly to my investors and use that money to build a tower? So I want to diversify my investment. Brilliant idea. And see, this is how we stimulate the economy itself. So the money start revolving. Then we have a democratization. We spoke about many times that ordinary retail investors can buy it. Right now, it's 200 to $250,000 in terms of if we even see Sukuk, the most application is like 200 to 250,000, and we discussed it already, so I would not repeat it. The operation efficiency itself, the distribution, the transparency, everything is there on the blockchain. I can also cut short the counterparty risk. For example, if I'm settling the cash or the yield right there, I don't need like a holding place or liquidity to do so. Uh, Regulatory Sharia compliance has to be by design. So all the rules we have, including the regulatory compliance, meaning KYC, AML checks, the eligibility rule, whether the investor can buy it or not, those are built in on the tokens, right? Just like any legal product structure would advocate. But the Sharia scholar have also set the rules and they are embedded on the token. And this is where the uniqueness of Mabrook comes, that we go extra mile and put all those parameters of Sharia governance inside the token. And if somebody is interested and they want to deep dive, we can do that. Of course, this all features from 1 to 4 give us new product, new capital way to stimulate the at the grassroots level. Like we can do impact financing, like really so good. We can do work also, right, where people can see what they have put in the work, what they have invested in the work, how it is recycled, right, where the yield is going, where the money is routed. We can all see those. Um, Of course, when we talk about Islamic finance, one thing I want to remind everybody that Islamic finance is not only about being a halal product, it's also about being more robust product, meaning that Islamic finance principle also dictates to a product directly to have an extra risk management around it. So Sharia governance, of course, we need a proper name, Sharia supervisory board, and the community who is buying the token or taking, they want to take the decision, they should have access to the Sharia supervisory board fatwa, and they should be able to answer any question, ask any question from the Sharia supervisory board. And I will not repeat it. The regulatory fragmentation and the legal enforceability should be there, right? So I cannot just issue a token without having any license. So I have to have license, like Mabrook has to country license. The technology has to have independent audits coming in and they should be revealed to any investor. So whenever they are interacting with the platform, there should be an area where they can see how the smart contracts are behaving, how the oracles are working, how the pricing changing has been done, what is the logic behind it, as well as the custody also, right? How secure the custody is. The secondary market is vital. We have to ensure that a secondary market, of course, in a in a practical world, when it comes to real world asset tokenization, of course, the liquidity will be thin. If there is somebody promising that you can be a day trader, you can come in, buy token and exit, I don't think so. That's the place for that person to be in the real world asset. So we have to have an honest opinion that yes, the token will be locked for a couple of weeks or months, right? After that, you can start trading. The trading should be on some window because there's no way we can have unlimited liquidity backing a real world asset, right? Because we are talking about a real dynamics here, right? So no speculation. So all those rules should be set for each issuance of the token and should be able to understand where you can enter, where you can exit. If you don't like the exit window, you can just walk away, right? Uh, Valuation, tax accounting, all those stuff or the documentation should be there, uh, of third party at the platform. Example, in Mabrook, we have applied SOC to ISAI 3402 regime to ensure that we have a military grade or a standard grade assurance to the user of the platform. So all in all, treat tokenization as a full life cycle governance program, right? You have to ask questions around the legal, the Sharia, then the technology and the risks, right? Not just token. Because a lot of people I'm hearing they just get excited on having, oh, crypto token, let's buy it, right? That ingredient. No. We have to rephrase the question. How your token is legal, or how it is Sharia compliant. All those questions should come. And the last slide is that there are a couple of already use cases live. Khazana, as I was mentioned, the Security Commission of Malaysia, they have rolled out this Sukuk, as I mentioned. Prepco is very famous nowadays. They got very good traction. Most of their investors, like 70% of their investors, were first-time property buyer in Dubai, right? Local and the international investors. Al Hilal Bank did a smart Sukuk project 8 years back. Then I did not pick up. I don't know what happened. I'm not following it, but they did some activity there. So the Al Hilal Bank was very active then. I also saw some activity at the Abu Dhabi Islamic Bank also. They were also trying to do. I don't know where the project is. Then the Central Bank of Bahrain, they have rolled out fractional sukuk sandbox and Enabler as a company. They are doing some sandbox testing, but I think next year, next 2 3 years will be very interesting because a lot of Islamic finance use case, including Mabrook and other platforms, they will also come a major player and into the market. But the pattern, what I have or what in my little knowledge, what I have known, that the pattern should be the regulatory first, then Islamic institution, right? Then the Sharia governance and tangible. Those common denominators should be always there um, when we go and test out the token and we structure it. Technology is just like an enabler, right? Just like Uber. Uber is not a taxi company; it's a technology company. So, what is giving me service? A taxi. All right, there's a tangible asset behind it, but technology come later on. How the taxi is it? Does it take to me to from point A to B safely, right? What is the quality of the taxi? What is the hygiene inside it? So the customer is more peculiar about that than the technology. Technology will work, right? So that's like a little presentation I thought that I should start with. Now I will just go to the poll, Sheikh, with your permission. So I see 14% of the of our brothers sisters are, or 57% are new to real world asset tokenization. That's really great. And this 36 are they understand the concept,
And
but they haven't invested.
by the way,
The
just to sorry to interrupt you, but I think only 14 out of are all participants have participated. So
Okay,
maybe some people joined during your presentation. So you
okay,
can give
got
them
it.
a single minute as well to
Sure.
participate in the poll if they want.
So the brother and sister who joined little later, please can you see the poll active on your screen and provide us your input if you haven't done? So we'll give another minute, Sheikh. So inshallah, Sheikh, with your permission, thank you once again for giving us your precious time. Can I start the question series now? So this week I have got, let me stop my presentation. So this week I have got some very challenging and interesting question for you.
Okay.
Those are the question that when I started, I used to ask myself, seeing the what the trading is now. So the first question is that in tokenization, we are offering a 24 into 7 token trading, just like a cryptocurrency trading or any stock trading, right? Don't you think that
Okay.
this invites a speculation? Because then people will start coming in and then speculate, right?
Okay. So Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Thank you, Fadbhai, for giving me the opportunity to answer the questions here in today's webinar. Speculation, I think speculation is a word that sometimes it is misunderstood and sometimes defined in a different way to the so how Islamic finance or Islamic contractual law see speculation? Because, for example, just take the example of buying a real estate property. Can there be some speculation in the market? Answer is yes. There are stock prices, stock market available, Pakistan Stock Exchange and other stock exchanges. Can there be some speculation? The answer is yes. So actually, the speculation is more about the speculators, the investors, the people who are going to invest. It is not more about the system. So the speculation can be anywhere. So, when we talk about speculation, actually, we need to understand that the real market forces, the demand and supply force, and how sometimes it get manipulated, and by some very even hoarding can happen in stocks as well. So these are more about the investors' intentions and investors' character traits. So that's why it's not about the technology. Yes, what actually happened that through that technology, because the trading became easier, and people used to do the trading on the stock exchanges through their phones and their landline phones. So the speed of transaction and the settlement of the transaction was very slow. Now, due to the technology, it has become a lot faster than how it was. So that is why the speculation becomes more evident in the technology, because when it enables the transactions, it enables the speculative investors as well. So that's why it's not about the tokens, it is about the investors. So, yes, Islam does not like the speculation. Islam does not like the maisir, and people should understand actually what maisir means and what is gambling. So, Maisir basically arises when there is no underlying economic activity. When we are doing like gambling, if I hit point number 8 or 7, so wherever my stone will hit, I will get that much part. So even in the ancient and in the pre-Islamic period, in the era of Jahiliyyah, the people of Makkah, they used to do some kind of things. For example, when they used to distribute the meat of the animals, they used to do these kinds of taqsimat, and they used to give some part to the idols as well. So, Maisir actually arises when there is no underlying economic activity. There are pure price bets, and there is a game of chance. Basically, you will lose everything or you will get everything. So, a well-governed halal venue enforces this at the design layer. So, at the design part, actually, when it is backed by assets, there is some security behind it, and it is not only linked with it; it is based on it. So, actually, the price of the token is the price of the real property. So, forces available, and integrity price will go up and down. However, it is the responsibility of the system to have an eye on the speculative investors. So, so speculation or speculative investors can be present in a tokenization platform. It is the responsibility of the platform to have an eye on them, one, and the design of the tokenization platform should be so strong, and it should be based on the principles, non-negotiable principles, that the room for any speculation should be very, very limited. So I hope it answered your.
Yeah, Jazakallah. There is, I think, some internet issue. So
Oh,
sometime we are getting problem, but yeah, I think it's workable for now. So no, thank you very much, Sheikh. That makes sense. Because as far as for, so for Mabrook and every rest of the platform, right? One thing is very important, as you said, the discipline. The discipline is that every asset should have some limits and risk management and some parameters for the speculation suppression. Example that if you have invested today, let the money go and work for you, right, in a real asset, and then let the yield come back to you before you even start talking about trading. So I think those are the parameters. In Mabrook, for example, what we have done is that there are that we can define based on the asset. So if the issuer is saying I'm going to do mining, it take me 6 months or 1 year, don't ask me anything back. So we're going to declare that there is a mining activity. This is the milestone. By that time, the tokens are locked. You cannot exit, right? Maybe we can have an option for over-the-counter selling to the issuer itself. So those kind of parameters, as you rightly said, discipline will help us to suppress the speculation. Okay, second
You,
question, Shay.
I would like to
Yeah,
add a sentence on it.
yeah, please.
As you mentioned about the information, actually, when there is a possible or opportunity for the speculators, actually, when the real information is absent and the investors don't know the technical details, the real happenings of the company where they are investing, of the token system where they have their money put in. So when they don't know, actually they think that it will happen, or there is a sentiment in the market that it will happen. So that is where actually the booms
Mhm.
come in, and many people gain a lot and many people lose a lot. However, when the market is based on information and all the informed investors are there, and the system uh, designs the system for information dissemination to the investors, actually the not only the confidence of the investors comes onto the system, added to that, the speculators actually don't have so much room to speculate and have this practice in the market.
Good point, Shay. Thank you, Jazakallah, for that. Okay, the second question is that most of the real world asset market is tokenized US Treasury and interest-based credit. So the 38 billion, whatever, I forgot the number which I quoted. Of course, those are conventional, non-Islamic. So is it, do you think that based on your understanding, is there any project which is part of it? And if not, then what instrument you feel that they should be there for tokenization for Islamic finance world?
Actually, as we all know, that US treasuries are interest based, and the interest based treasuries, considering it as a receivable, basically this is a haram receivable, not a halal receivable. So anyone who has put his money in that funds, they have the treasuries or treasury bills. Actually, he has put his money inside these interest based transactions. So sometimes it look that I am putting my money in the fund only, I am putting my money in the tokenized in the tokens only, but it the actual part is actually these tokens are backed by what? If these are treasuries, then actually it is not a halal asset in any case. For example, we can hope that there may be some US treasuries based on Islamic finance as well in the coming future. But till now, what I know, that all the US treasuries are interest-based credit. So therefore, any system that is based on that, and the tokens or the coins are pegged to that, actually are not halal and cannot be considered as a halal real world asset, although it is a receivable, but it's not a not a halal world asset. So when we talk about halal real world asset, halal RWA, for that we need to fulfill all the requirements of a sale contract that happens. So in, for example, there, if it is going to be an investment in an asset, it should be permissible, it should have the ability of possession. For example, there are some tokens backed by gold. So when we talk about gold, the transaction of gold and the surf, the Islamic rules for the trading in the currencies and trading in the precious metals should be followed. So the position rules, the surf rules, these rulings should be followed. If all these are followed and designed in the layer, actually, then that tokenized system will become halal.
Okay. And Shay, can you enlighten us on the spot trading versus other type of tradings? Just a little bit for the folks like me who don't understand what is allowed in IFE or Islamic finance and not in terms of trading.
So let's talk about the stocks. So actually, the Islamic basic rule is that I cannot sell anything which I not own and which I don't have possession of it. So if I don't have the possession of something and I sold it to someone, actually I will not be able to make the delivery because I don't have the possession of it. Maybe I will get it in the future or maybe not. So as per the actually Hanafi ruling, the real estate, is the property, the when there is a land, actually it has some exceptional rules, like possession is not required for it. Apart from that, the all the movable items, they should have the possession of it. So when we talk about shares, when we talk about tokens, actually, because these are can highly volatile and can be moved from one place to another in the digital sphere, the part of possession is very important. Yes, now how the possession will work, we need to understand it as per the system, that how the system when I'm selling something, I have possession of it, I can sell it, and I will make the delivery of it whenever, how about the system, or it is as mutually agreed between buyer and the seller. When we talk about futures, actually, I am selling something which is not existent and it will be existing in the future. And I am expecting that it will exist and it will exist at such and such price. So I am selling it on that on today on that price. So like in stocks or even in tokens, actually the future sale of tokens will not be allowed because the in Arabic it is called bay'ul mustaqbal. So because it doesn't fulfill the basic requirements of sale contract.
So, Jazakallah Sheikh. And this is the beauty of the blockchain. And this is what is the purpose of our webinar and week two title, that where it's served the purpose. So, when the token, as far as we can establish that the token is in reality backed by asset, and Fahad name is there, then I'm able to sell it. The beauty of the blockchain is that we can change that in T plus zero. Like immediately I can sell this to you as far as the system authorized that yes, Fahad own it, and then change the title of the token, which is already backed by the asset. So thank you, Sheikh, for that awesome answer. Uh, okay, I think one other interesting question in my mind was always, where does IOP stand on tokenization? So what IFE says on tokenization?
So when the standards are basically, when we discuss these standards, I think it is important that the actual word should be taken. So by the name of tokens or tokenization, there is no standard available or issued by AOFI. However, what I have heard that they have been working on these tokens and coins, but till now there is no issued standard on it, and it is due to the cautiousness, and they have been working on it. It's not that they are not doing research on it, but there is no issued token. But when we talk about the Sharia principles of token, because Sharia has issued its basic guidelines and principles. So, like regarding musharaka, we have a standard. Regarding wakala, we have a standard. So, we can say that we have been following the different standards of AOFI, but actually, AOFI has not issued any standard on tokenization. Therefore, actually, we cannot say that AOFI certified token or AOFI standard according to the AOFI tokenization standard, because there is no standard named as tokenization by AOFI. But it can be said that the other standards set by AOFI, like for musharaka, muzaraba, and wakala or wakala bil istismar, these can be followed, and these should be followed for any kind of transaction. So it's not only about tokenization. For example, people doing some transaction in their own business, actually they should follow the AOFI standards.
Right, Alhamdulillah. And so we can say that it's IoT aligned as far as the
Yeah.
underlying product structure follows it, and platform like Mabrook are able to demonstrate how it is IoT aligned, what Sharia standard we are following. Is it Musharka? Is it Ijara, debt finance, and whatnot? We should be okay. All right. Jazakallah Sheikh. So, okay, for the folks who are on the webinar, if you have any question, you can start parking it on the Q&A. Otherwise, inshallah, give us like 10 minutes and we will let you ask question directly, inshallah, with us. And remember, no question is a um, dumb question or bad question. The idea is that you should not have any hesitation to ask question. All right. The other question is that can a smart contract replace the Sharia board? So this is a day of AI and automation shift. While we are doing Mabrook development, we are on the verge. We are using AI. We are heavily using AI, right? And my developers are also asking the same question, and they are Muslim. And there are a couple of non-Muslim. But the question is that, yes, you have a IUP standard, so we can read the standard, we can automate the ISHA. This is very important because human in loop or only AI, and why?
Uh, the answer is I have been thinking about it for I think around a year. And when I first came to know about the on-chain Sharia governance and the smart contracts, how they work, and actually talking about AI Mufti and how it will work. So I think Sharia is not an exception from other fields. Like, for example, what about doctors? What about the medical research? What is the need of a medical research or a human medical doctor? Because he actually makes decision from his own knowledge, and AI actually have has more knowledge than the doctors. But uh, we have seen a lot of like biased decisions by AI through in hiring systems, and there have been some cases published on it. Similarly on some other places. So again, it is how you actually train and set the algorithms for the AI. But the to cut the long story short, actually, there cannot be an AI only Sharia board because actually it's not about the knowledge. It's not about in our own fatwa training we say it. There is an experience, exposure, and by the virtue of being involved in the Sharia ruling for years and decades, actually a person is able to make a decision based on knowledge. He is liable to connect his decisions with the knowledge, with the heritage, with the whatever the literature is. But he has the potential to put his own opinion as well due to this exposure. uh, all of this is actually missing in AI. So, therefore, actually, without human, a Sharia board cannot exist. As simple as this. And this is how, till now, what AI has shown to us. And therefore, what actually AI can do for Sharia scholars, it can help them. And for example, there is a book of, let's say, 500 pages, and I'm not able to read it. AI can help me read it, and AI can help identify like my fatwa drafts, etc. So AI is helping, and AI will help. And I would like to add one more point because I was writing some posts on LinkedIn regarding the not actually AI regarding the innovation and Sharia. There has been a myth about the and it has been viral for regarding some crypto issues as well. So that Sharia is not it does not encourages the innovation, which is actually what I personally think is wrong. Sharia is of such a comprehensive, flexible, and practical framework, which is practical till the day of judgment. And before the day of judgment, we are not sure that which kind of AI and which kind of new technologies are going to happen and what changes are going to happen in the world. But Sharia is still there, and Sharia will remain as it is. It will be practical, it will be doable for the people till the day of judgment. So, innovation is not discouraged, but it is encouraged. So, AI is encouraged. AI is not something which is discouraged by Sharia, so it should not be discouraged by Sharia boards. We should be able to leverage it through for ourselves. One, we should critically evaluate. Two, we should be able to analyze it, and for that we should have a very in-depth knowledge of actually what is this and how it works. So when we have these three, four things, we would be able to make our own decisions on it. Not every AI is good and not every AI is bad. The simple rule of Sharia regarding the innovation and technologies is actually these are like knives. You can get a murder out of it, and you can cut the fruits as well. So your answer is that only AI Sharia board. I'm not sure. I actually think that it will not happen, or it will. We will not be able to make such kind of thing.
Achieve.
However, the assistance should be there, and it will help a lot.
And this is our finding as well, Sheikh. So we did some pilots of stock screening, and
Hmm.
it's not a financial advice. We are just experimenting. We are not going to make
Hmm.
it public as yet, but we are also trying to see
Hmm.
how can we also data fetch the cryptocurrency and real world asset, financial statements, and all that, and ensure that the
Hmm.
information is relayed to the user. But there will be always Sharia review before it goes to the public. That's absolute. We cannot find an instance where AI is 100% accurate. No, it has some ethical issue. It detects something wrong, right? All right. So I'll just go to the next one. Um, if I'm a Islamic financial institution, let's say I'm a Islamic bank or I'm an Islamic finance non-banking institution, like I'm just doing lending financing. Where should I start? I should start in terms of the tokenization. What is the journey I should follow?
I personally think that many of the Islamic financial institutions they have assets, and they have the framework as well. Number three, they have the knowledge of Islamic financial frameworks. So, if they are able to tokenize their own assets, what I mean by own the they have deposits, and they have the deposit side and the asset side and liability side. So as they are already investing in assets, they can do it through tokenization as well. So they can also issue their own tokens, and they can work on the technology part and get it done. One. Number two is like what Sukuk tokenization that is happening, and you gave some real world examples for it. So the pool of assets that is backed, they have issued certificates against that. The secondary market trading can also happen and easily happen through tokenization. Number three is actually the third part is about the underserved department segments of the economy, like agriculture, like SMEs, like even cottage industries, very small industries, and through that tokenization and through that blockchain, if the real asset, the real business, the real yielding asset or the business, we are able to track it, and we are able to track the performance of it. I think they can easily be, because actually they cannot go to stock exchanges, they cannot get their shares done through the stock exchanges, but what they can do is they can have their business registered at the platform, and platform do all the eligibility tests, and after that it can issue and invite the investors or invest its own money in the tokens. Then these tokens can also be traded in the frame. So potential is they have expertise, and what for example it's easier for them to adopt as compared to other stakeholders of the market. Even for the regulator, I think it is as compared to the regulator, it is easier for the Islamic financial institutions to adopt. So if they are able to just change their own traditional tools.
Okay, we had some internet issues, but we got the idea. Just to recap, these Islamic financial institution or non-banking financial institution, they can start with a small pilot, as Sheikh was mentioning, that pick up one use case. It can be like a small uh, piece of property, tokenize it, do commodities, right? Tokenize it. and then the second step is that, okay, once you understand what is the asset you want to tokenize, uh, either look for a partner like Mabrook or somebody who has the tokenization license in the regulatory space. Of course, the Sharia Supervisory Board, as Sheikh mentioned, is there already there in the Islamic Bank, so we can work together, get all the Sharia clearance done, smart contract wrinkled out, and phase three is basically set up the secondary market, and having we can have a third party secondary market, or we can appoint the same Islamic finance institution liquidity as a secondary market and go from there. Just last thing before we take the question, I'm going to start a poll. Um, which is just asking if you would be an investor, acting like an investor, what will be your priority to look into the platform? So if you can please provide input, the poll should be on your screen. What Mabrook is building for the folks who are new, Mabrook is now regulated in Canada and El Salvador. We have got the licensing to operate. Remember, in Canada, there is no digital asset law, so we work under the crowdfunding license. In El Salvador, we do have a proper tokenization and custody license, and we are, alhamdulillah, the world first Islamic tokenization platform. Um, all the token issued by Mabrook would be Sharia Supervisory Board reviewed, audited, and there will be a continuous Sharia governance framework implemented and including the Sharia audits. So with that, while you guys are providing your inputs on the poll, I will open the quorum for the question. You can ask live question as well. Just raise your hand, inshallah. And what I will do is that let me find you your names. I can unmute you guys and you can ask question, inshallah. And remember, no question. There should be no hesitation asking question. Go ahead. Please raise your hand, inshallah, and then I will let you talk. Or you can simply use the Q&A section to type in your question. Both works.
What were the answers for the results for the poll one?
Oh yeah, let me get that for you. Okay, it's asking me to sign. Sorry, Sheikh, I should have taken the snapshot.
No problem. I think we will discuss that
Yeah,
later.
yeah.
But
I'll put it
answers
on the
for the
LinkedIn. So give another 5 seconds for folks to basically provide their inputs on the poll. And if anybody wants to talk about anything to do with the tokenization or any general question about Sharia, please raise your hand and I will let you talk, inshallah. You can ask question from
Brother
Sheikh or
Fahad, there
me.
is a question in chat, and
There
he
is, okay.
asked if Khan Zaman has asked that, dear Fahad, this series is how long?
I think four more to go, Sheikh, if I recall it.
Today is our third week, and what we planned is for 7 weeks.
Yeah.
Odd
I,
number is a good number.
and I hope, Brother Irfan, you are not bored, right? You are finding something uh, which is useful for you, inshallah. And if not, then please do give us your feedback so we can adjust and improve, inshallah, right? All right, I'll end the poll and I'll share the result.
Hmm.
So can you see the results here? So the
Yes,
question was, what would matter most to get you to invest in a tokenized halal asset? So Mabrook or any platform out there, they say that, okay, here's the token. So 38% of the participants are saying a name Sharia board approval and ongoing audits should be there. And they don't care. Nobody cares about the regulator, which is very interesting. Um, 13% are saying low minimums that if it is affordable, they will buy, which is also very interesting because in my head, I always thought that bringing it down will help to get a successful campaign or token s- sell. The bigger chunk, 63%. is being able to exit, sell when I want. So, and I was anticipating it. If I am a retail investor and I'm investing, I should have the flexibility, ability to exit anytime I want.
The result also shows a point that many of the people they don't have the trust in the regulator as much as they have in the Sharia boards.
Yes, yeah, that's one angle. I agree, and I agree. Uh, but I can tell you one thing that in 4 to 5 years, what I've learned something, and being banker 15 years, right? So in various territory, you cannot escape a regulatory regime. Uh, because Sharia, I think Sharia, my Sharia board always used to tell me, Fahad, you cannot just break the law of the land. Example, if you're an ordinary citizen and you are doing tax evasion, this is not Sharia compliant. Right? So, but yeah, I think everything is important. Regulatory tells you the legal framework that you need to follow. So they would ask for the insurances, they would ask for some hard rules they have set just to make sure that, the platform is floating. And if something goes south, then who's going to take the supervision and all that? That is also important. But yes, if there's a regulatory regime and there's no Sharia board, then it's as good as zero. All right. All right. I'll just stop sharing. And I think our audience, and this is not usual. Usually we had so many questions that we have to end up doing 15 minutes more. Today, there's people are quiet. All right. I see Brother Fan message here. Also, can I get recording because very much impressive scoring experience. Jazakallah, Brother Fan. You can just go to the YouTube channel. Go to YouTube and type Mabrook token, and you will find our YouTube channel, right? And you can subscribe, and all the recordings, past recordings are there. Remember, there is nothing like Mabrook token. Anything Mabrook will do will be asset backed. It's just like how YouTube picked it up. And I'm not fan of any cryptocurrency as well. Uh, all right. So Mufti Irfan Zaman Sahab has Jazakallah. Thank you for the appreciation and for your love. All right. So I think, Sheikh, if there's anything else you want to talk about, otherwise I think we can end this webinar early today, 12 minutes
I
early.
think maybe there are some points that maybe we are repeating it from webinar one or two, but actually, uh, because the audience becomes different and some points are very important, so we need to just reinforce these sometimes. That is about the understanding of crypto and tokenization, because there are some discussions or even fatwa related to cryptos or cryptocurrencies. They like gone viral, and all people were discussing about it, and about the fatwa about the crypto and how it addressed crypto. One important point is that tokenization is equal to crypto, and which again the core problem lies under not understanding the frameworks or the difference between these two. So we need to understand that cryptocurrency is not is equal to tokens or tokenization. What we are discussing or elaborating in different ways is that the assets that has been physical, that are there, that are available in the real world, if they are able to be tokenized and in the fractional ownerships, then there is a potential for the investors, for the investees to work on it. So yes, it will be backed by a blockchain. It will be working under a governance system. But actually, we are not talking about currency in any case. So cryptocurrency is actually a currency, what they call it a currency, or how it works, and people know it. So tokenization is the fractional ownership of the asset, and people are going to invest in it, and they will be able to trade it in the secondary market as they do some trading of the shares. So this is again what I believe is the starting point for many people. Many of the people who are not tech savvy, many people who are very initial investors, or even some of the people who have not studied about it, they have very strong knowledge of Sharia, but actually, so they need to understand that cryptocurrency is different and the tokenization of the real world asset is different. We have some questions, I think.
Yeah, the question is from Yusuf Suleiman. Brother is asking, my name is Yusuf Suleiman Muhammad from Nigeria. Welcome, brother. My question is concerning investing in future trading. How is it permissible like trading spot? I need a clear explanation about it. I think he needs a layman answer for this one in a easy English.
Okay. So, brother Yusuf, future trading, the trading of future stocks, or like for example, you are doing it in the on the forex, future trading is not allowed. And why? Because as per the Sharia rules, one is not allowed to sell anything which he does not have the possession of it. So the possession, the existence of and the ownership of that particular asset is mandatory. Therefore, one is not allowed to do future trading. Spot trading is allowed. Spot actually means that I am selling something what I have, what I possess. So actually, spot trading is allowed, and future trading is not.
Great, Jazakallah Sheikh. One of the kid Alia, sister Alia have asked, I am a CA in Pakistan, chartered accountant, mashallah in Pakistan. Very good. Very happy for you, Alia. And she's an early year of career. I want to ask as youth, what should we do to cater this new wave of digital assets since we don't have any running system in Pakistan to get the exposure of this market? And do you think learning at this point is enough to stay out of the curve? Sheikh, can I answer this question because I've
Yes,
been
go
mentoring
ahead.
some Ivy League guys in US. So, Sister Ali and the rest of the folks who are not new in the career, this is inevitable. See, the world is shifting to a new financial ecosystem. It's being reset now. All right. In next 12 to 24 months, you will see a big change at the level of the BIS. BIS is a Swiss-based banking regulator, which basically push all the new regulation across all the country, and they have to follow. It is shadowed by the Federal Reserve US. All right. So any changes in the BIS means that is a change in the banking world. And what they are doing right now, as we speak, they're not thinking about it. They already have executed pilots. um, Federal Reserve in US already have approved 4 to 5 cryptocurrency, if I recall. USD stablecoin is one, which I think is the right approach. Then there is some use of Bitcoin and XRP. They are also bringing it for the inter settlement. So learning digital assets is not a choice. Any accountant, any banker, any experienced or non-experienced person, they need to understand it because this is what you will be dealing with in near future, right? And if you don't know where is the North Star to follow, reach out to Mabrook. Maybe we can give you some internship and you can start learning about us right in your free time. Go to YouTube. There are a couple of RWA videos I did. Sheikh recording is also there. Ask us. And this is really good that you are asking this question. This is your responsibility to do that just to find, right? And we are happy to give you internship if you want to learn and guide you, inshallah. Um, All right, I think this is one. And then Shakir Umar is saying, obviously, since Mufti Taqi Usmani Sahib, Rahmatullah, it said that is he has issued the fatwa. Yes, Hazrat have issued the fatwa. Absolutely, no doubt about that. Um, Remember, see, tokenization, if you see the market as a broader level, okay, and those 36, $38 billion of tokenized asset which is already on the blockchain versus the 4 trillion market cap in which 1.5 trillion roughly is Bitcoin. Understand one thing, systematically what is happening. The system is shifting, right? Everybody is now coming to the words which Islam has said 1400 years back that it has to have an asset back. So you will be seeing this, and this is my own personal view, nothing to do with Mabruk. You will see the more. cryptocurrency going down, the more prevailing of stable coin, and maybe central bank digital currency coming in. Because now the government understand that it has to be regulated. This 14 trillion market cannot be unregulated. Okay. If you see one analogy when I was working for Dubai Islamic Bank and I was in charge of the Sudan operations, I had like many meetings with the regulators and the telecom. So in country like Sudan or Kenya, you will be surprised. I think it was in Pakistan also, if I remember, a decade back. $500 million was just in the circulation of the e-money, meaning airtime. So people used to top up their mobile phone and then they will ask somebody in the other city to give a cash against it with some margin. And it was just bypassing the banking system. And that's why Kenya did the M-Pesa, right? Safaricom use case came in because the central bank of Nigeria, Kenya says that this cannot be unregulated. 500 million circulation every day, right? And nobody is watching it. Telecom is not a financial regulator, so somebody has to regulate it. So they came up with a hybrid approach that they built as Safaricom, which was oversight by like the regulator. So similarly, what I'm trying to say is that this 4 trillion will also converge into the regulatory, and this clash will happen. There will be adjustment, and adjustment will be what that it has to be regulated. There is no way that the cryptocurrency can be used for shady stuff, right? Which everybody knows that people are doing it. So it's very important for us as Muslims to embrace this technology, to understand it and understand the use cases and learn about it and become a useful tool about it. So this is what is happening. You to reference it out, go look into the Genius Act, which was passed in US last September. It's a stablecoin act. Then the Clarity Act is coming, which is directly hitting Mabrook and the tokenization, which is going to decide on how the tokenization will work and who will be regulating it and whatnot. But the idea is that all the government has one thing is common. It has to be asset backed and tokenized, and it has to be regulated. So that's my 2 cents, inshallah. Any other question from anybody? Sheikh, do you want to add something? Did I say something wrong, or do you feel that again
No,
it's
there
my
are some.
personal opinion?
No, there is some new information as well. What can you explain about some in a minute about the Clarity Act? What you said when it is coming and what is the core part of it?
So Clarity Act, you can Google Clarity Act, clarity as in clear, to clear out something. Clarity Act, US Senate, you can Google and you can download the entire debate. There are some recording also. I had an opportunity to go to Washington, D.C. and had part of the two workshop, including in one in Calgary also. So Clarity Act is about if the real world asset is being tokenized, okay, should we treat it as a token as a commodity or a security? Example. A simple example is that Dubai Commodity Exchange Department has nothing to do with the securities regulator. It's a commodity trading, right? I can have a rice trading and I can do commodity trading in the Dubai Commodity Exchange, right? But the DIFC or UAE stock market or Pakistan stock market or Nigeria stock market, all those stocks are securities. So this is basically two regimes. So Clarity Act at the US level, they will identify what type of assets will be classified as commodity, what type of assets will be classified as security. Example, if US is doing or the world is doing, so it will be become like a gold standard, right? So if the government is doing a sovereign, let's say PIA or some airline or some government asset is being tokenized, they might fall into securities. But if we are doing a real estate tokenization, which is a general real estate, it might come into the commodity. So they will treat it as it. Then the tax and everything falls into that place. So
Mhm.
this is what they're doing. Right now, the clash is that
Categorizing.
exactly. So they will categorize it. The moment you categorize it and use it, US is going to go really bullish on tokenization because they're going to put all the data centers, everything on token shape, right? And now, once the token is there on the blockchain, which is legally allowed by the Federal Reserve across the world, because they are setting the world standard, right? Anything US do, New York. Wall Street does has a ripple effect on everybody. Nobody can escape that. That's how the financial system exists today, right? Once they had it, then the question would be how an ordinary person can come and buy it. Can I use my Bitcoin to buy it? Or can I use a stable coin to buy it? Or can I use a central bank digital currency of fiat? So that's something, that's why the Genius Act was passed. They're going to advocate for the stable coin to purchase those assets. So they're going to take out the cryptocurrency for a time, I guess. That's my hunches. So if you see the tandem, why the stablecoin was passed first and why Clarity is next is because now stablecoin regime is there, so they are building that momentum of ensuring that there are USDC or stablecoin across the globe, so that that market is there, right? Is going ramping up. So now there's a US dollar stable coin across the globe. People are buying it, but people are taking in the wallet. The moment the Clarity Act hit, there will be a real world asset token coming in. And what will the instrument will be used to buy stable, to use the stable coin for the same day settlement or T plus zero settlement. This is how the ecosystem is evolving. It's very interesting. So I would say go and look for the BIS tokenization pilot. I would say go and read the uh, uh, Genius Act US. I would say go and look into the Federal Reserve pilots. I would say go and look into the JP Morgan part of the tokenization and start with that. Understand this because understanding is everything. Awareness is everything. Anything else from any? Oh, so we got some question. Okay, thank you, sir. All right. Thank you, brother Aditi ji. I'm so sorry if I don't pronounce your name correctly. Jazakallah for that. All right. And Yusuf Sulaiman is saying thanks to you. Uh, yeah, yeah. Jazakallah
Thank
for
you.
that, brothers. All right, I think let's conclude today. And if there are any question concerns, you guys can catch us at the LinkedIn. Follow Sheikh Umar on the LinkedIn. He's doing tremendous job in Pakistan in terms of the academics as well as from the practitioner side as well. Very well informed, very learned person. We have an opportunity to have him for an hour. And this is a rare opportunity. Everybody should basically leverage upon. Jazakallah
Thank you,
khair.
brother. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.